Okay, good afternoon, traders. Welcome to the London webinar. Sorry, not London, the weekly outlook. I'm a little busy today, so you have to forgive that. Yes, so the weekly outlook, let's go. Yeah, the question is, when am I going? Okay, I'm leaving for Dubai tomorrow. I will be there on Wednesday, and I'll be there for 1 week until next Wednesday. So Saturday coming. If there's anybody in our Emirates in Dubai, if you want to catch up for coffee, I'll be meeting with my group. We have about 15 or 20 traders there, if I'm not sure. There's a lot of guys over there, right, in our group. So you can join us, and I definitely will be meeting with them. So if any one of you who are not my trader here from Emirates, add me to Skype and send me a message, and I'll let you know when and where we're getting together. Right? Holidays and business. Okay, let's go. Let's start dollar index. This is a nice trade setup, but we'll come to it. Let's start the dollar index. We're getting everybody in slowly but surely. Dollar index still in the downside. Remember, nothing much has changed. Every trade you take, including from last week to the downside, are short-term trades, which means you get in, you take profit, and you get out. Because you don't want to keep this for long-term. You'll start keeping long-term trades after you've got a pullback, right? Then they will make pullback. They always do. So there is a chance we will get pullback very soon here for downside, which means if you get a trade set up on a 1 hour for a sell, and you're actually getting one right now for a sell here, if you know it's not ready, I think they'll probably go up some more. I think this will probably make some more consolidation. And if you get a sell set up, you take the trade, take your profit, right? Don't keep it, take a trade, take your profit, get out of it. If you guys keep all your questions at the end, I'll answer them. We leave enough time for that. So as you can see, they keep making these corrections and they fall, they make corrections and they fall. At some point, you're going to get a very, very deep correction coming on the daily. So be careful, take profit on every sell you get, which means in the euro, like I said, if you get the buy, and that was a buy setup when this pulled back, last week it was here, I said, wait for it to pull back and then look for a buy. Do not buy here, do not buy. If you buy these small ones, you have to take profit. You get a deep pullback, you get a move. Same thing here now. You may get short-term sell and they come back here. You get a buy setup, right? Right now, this thing could give us very, very deep corrections. It's at a very high level, if you notice. So I still think we could get pullback, one more, and eventually come for a deeper correction. But that means if you get a setup today, short-term sell setup, very short-term sell setup, you can actually take it, right? You can take this short-term sell setup, take profit, watch it pull back, sell it again, take profit, watch it pull back. And if you get something like this here, you can take that trade, take profit. Don't keep these trades. Any trade setup you get for a buy or a sell, and as it's correcting, you can get short-term trade sell. They're correcting. This is a correction in the making. So you can get short-term sells. On the upside, when it starts to spike, which was last week, we were here and they were correcting, you get that trade. They could correct here. You could get that trade, right? So you can get both up and down, but they're all short-term trades. So until you get a very deep correction. On the daily, it's at the top of a very big daily move. So be careful. At that point, they will tell us whether it's going to continue to go much more higher or they're going to turn. Pung, as we suspected, turned. Remember, we looked at this on the daily, and I told you guys we were expecting one more down here. We're expecting this to come down to this level and then probably do that. So it's on its way to the downside. Let's look at it in the 4 hour. I don't know if any one of you got this sell setup, but it was amazing. You got a nice sell setup. It dropped. It's making a deeper pullback. So look for a sell setup. Actually, it's making a wonderful sell setup in the 1 hour. Pull this up here. You may want to keep it here for the bigger correction. Like that. Keep it like that for the bigger correction. But you can get a sell setup here. Once they break this, you can look for this trade down. This is short and that is short. This one should be a longer trade. And you can take the trade and take profit. Right? So I'm not looking for a buy setup. I'm looking for a sell setup. If you get a flag in here, a small flag, and they decide to make one more impulse, If you take that trade and you know how to trade within these structures, that's a very short-term trade. Look for the bigger trade to the downside, right? It is going to be an amazing trade. So watch for this trade to come back, and it's not going to come and retest this immediately, but it's going to eventually get to that level. So you're looking for some kind of a sell setup here. Aussie keeps pushing higher, right? They keep pushing. They didn't make a deep correction as we expected. They push higher, but you could have bought above the top. Same here, you'll have to buy above that top if it goes. Looks like we may get the deeper correction now because this correction is already starting to look big. So I would not be surprised if this comes down some more. And then we go up, making it the bigger correction before they go. So I'm still looking for more upside, but we are expecting a deeper correction here. Can you sell it? Yes. If you get a sell setup, you can sell. If you're in the buy and also, you may want to move your stop. So if they break this structure, you can look for a sell. It's a short-term trade. You take profit, get out of it. If you take a buy here, this is a small buy. You see, these are very short impulses. I don't like to trade them, but you get 20, 30 pips if you want. Take the trade. Take the profit. Don't keep the trade. I'm more interested in Aussie making a short-term downside here, like a correction here, a move up, a correction here, and then this gives me a very good trade to the upside. Right, so I'm looking for a deeper pullback. Put it in the 4 hours so you can see that. Want Aussie to make a pullback like this. A move there, make a correction and drop. See that? A move there, make a correction and drop. Pretty much like this one. That's the exact pattern if you look at it. They had that 1, 2, 3, and they're making this one. They had the 1, 2, 3, make that. If you get this drop, if this piece drops, take the trade, take profit, and then look for upside. So what we're looking for is a correction of this move. And then you get a nice trade to the upside. Right? So if you wait for that correction, you actually get the trade. If it's going to go from here, well, you got to buy above the top. There's no way to get this trade unless it pulls back very deep. New Zealand made a higher move. I think we were expecting that this piece might start to come down. It keeps going up, but we still have divergence. You still have a lot of divergence on the higher, and we're coming to the very top of this structure. We're getting to the very top of this structure. That is the first impulse up. Either this is all your consolidation and we are going to go up, or at this point, they come back for one more move down, then go up. We have seen these 1, 2, 3 wave patterns. If that happened, I'll be looking at it like 1, 2, 3, and then up. So it doesn't matter right now. I think this is where wave analysis gets interesting. Right now, it doesn't matter which direction this goes. Absolutely does not matter in terms of your trading. What is important is that we do these forecasts. We said, okay, this is a possible pattern up. That is a possible pattern. This pattern could make this move. And if this pattern starts to make this move, we will take it and we'll try to keep it all the way to this level. That is the forecast. Now, what if they decide that they're not going to make a bigger? This was all your correction. This piece here was all your correction. And this is going to be a continuous move up. Right? That does not stop us from trading, right? What we do is we come to the 1 hour and we said, okay, every single trade from now to the upside will still be a buy, but we will buy with caution. So if this thing comes back here and give you this trade today, starts to go up, you can take that trade. You can take this trade. You take them with caution. You go in the trade, you get in the trade, you take profit when it breaks the top. Because it's not going to go far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they will make a deeper pullback before they go. Or you wait for the deeper pullback. It does not break the trend line. It makes a deeper pullback like this. Come here, don't break the trend line. This would be a wonderful buy. Right? So it really doesn't matter which of those options play it out. You can trade it. Right? It doesn't have to do exactly what, but if you know the amount of patterns that exist, what you have to understand is which one of those possibilities can happen. And then you work towards it. The yen is a good example. Let me go to yen and show you a good example. And all of you were following this. Remember what we said about yen. When it was coming down here, I said, guys, be careful of sells because they can start to go up. Once they break that structure, they're coming to test the stop. So if you were listening to me and you understand how we trade, you could trade that up to that top. Once they break that top, we're expecting them to come and tag this low. And our traders are in that trade. Right? We're still keeping the trade because we expect it to come and tag this low. And then when it does this, the next possible place we see this going is going back up on a big move like that. So we will sell this all the way to about the 270, and then we will be buying it up. Now, does it always come in a straight line? No, I would say they're pretty lucky here. Because if you notice, they had deep pullback, a very deep pullback in this one. So at some point here, this thing might give a deep pullback and then go. And this is where traders freaked out. They said, oh, he said he's going to go down, but look, it's going up. And they start buying at the top here. They go and they start buying here, only to watch it drop there and take out their account, because most of them trade without stop. People who trade like that have no idea what is happening. And it's well, it broke the trend line and we're going to buy. And then they watch it drop there and take them out. And then they're like, what happened? It's going down. And when it's at the bottom here, and I'll say, guys, be careful for the up move, they'll start saying, but why is he saying that? It's in the downtrend. Because that is how it moves. It moves in waves. And most people are buying at the top of the waves or selling at the bottom of waves, right? They're always doing that because the emotions of when it's going is going to get into you. And everything else that you've learned in technical analysis is going to tell you that, oh, you're actually going this direction. You should be buying or selling here. And that is exactly where you should not be buying and selling. So it's watch the trade, understand what's going to do. If you're not in this trade, you need to wait for it to make that correction. Let them make this correction here. See, they made one there. And then you get that drop. That becomes your trade. If you're trading it on the 1 hour, you may get short trades to the downside. But if you get short trades to the downside, every time you take a trade, take your profit. You get that trade, take your profit. It comes back here, you sell, take your profit. Because when it makes a deeper correction, then you get that trade for a big sell. And those are the ones you keep. So what do we expect yen to do? Go down some more, but you can't just sell it here because it's going to pull you back. It's going to come up, come up, come up. And if this is the big correction, you're going to get taken out and then watch it drop. So wait for that correction and then sell it. If it keeps going down, well, you're bad luck. You're not in the trade. You should be in the trade from the very top, right? You shouldn't be trying to sell the trade where you should be, should not be selling. CAD keeps going down. Like I said, if you want to sell in this structure last week, sell it, take profit, sell it, take profit, sell it, take. Again, same thing. We're at the bottom of the structure. So should you be selling now? No, it's probably could go, but you can't sell into that bottom of the structure. What you need to do is let them break the structure. Let them prove that this structure is not what it's doing. That's not the valid structure you're looking at. So far, that is what they're telling you. Because if you look at between those two lines, that's what they're doing. So for you to really go into a long-term trade, two things have to happen. Let me go back to the 4 hour. Two things have to happen to give you the long-term trade. One is this thing has to pull back. And now you get a long-term trade to go. That's the first option, right? The second option is they don't pull back right now. They just keep falling, and they could actually do that. Well, if they're going to do that, you could go to the 1 hour and say, I will take a chance at that. But first, I want them to break out of the structure. Then I want to see this pullback, a 1 hour pullback, and now I will sell. And I would move into break even once it goes. So the worst case scenario, they come take me out for break even, do the bigger correction, and I sell. It is going to be a sell. You just need that bigger correction, and it will happen. Not a very deep correction, but at least a correction this size. A correction that size needs to happen for this to have a continuation. So you will most likely get this correction. And if you get that, look for that trade down. If you don't, you're taking very small trades now. So we're trading the CAD, but we're trading it very short term. If we get into a trade, and mostly it's a trade during the news event, we take off profit. How far I think the CAD will go? I think minimum we were expecting it to come to the 270. I would not be surprised if they keep going lower. But we are always trying to target this 270. So there's still a lot of pips here to go. And if they pull back, it becomes more amazing. You get more pips. So let's see if we get a pullback. It's set up to give a pullback, but it's just not going, right? This thing has been showing us divergence for a longest while, but we're not getting the pullback as yet. And that happens sometimes. They just keep going. Divergence is not the end of the move. It's a warning sign that the end is coming. So be careful if you're taking that trade. Swiss, Amazingly, I would keep telling you Swiss is going to come and hit this low from the very top. And I remember telling you last week they might even break through this structure, tag the low. Well, they did tag the low now. So what do we have here? We have this structure. For those of you who read structure, we have a move down, a move up, and a move down. This move is not ended as yet. We don't know where that will end. It could still keep going, still keep going, still keep going. But it's going to take off for this trade. That is an equivalent of that. So can it go? Don't, if that thing goes down 100 more pip, don't write me 10 messages and say it's still going down. I bought it, but it's still going down. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm telling you to watch it now for that turning point. At this point here, you may get short-term sells. I am basically not interested in these short-term sells right now. They could happen, but I'm not interested in them right now because right now I'm waiting for that turning point. If you take the short-term sells, and you will get a sell setup, take it, take it. Take your profit. Same thing with the CAD, same thing with the yen. They're going down. Take your profit. What would look like a turning point? A 6-week course will teach you that. I can't do that in one webinar, but that will give you the idea what a turning point looks like. Right? I think you got the message. Let's go now. So watch for these. You're going to get short-term trades. You're going to get short-term trades. We are getting short-term trades. Potentially, I think Swiss could go a next 200, 300 pips. But what you probably want to do is get into the Swiss pairs that has long-term trades. And let me show you some of those that has long-term trades. One of them is the Euro Swiss. We've been talking about this one as well. Euro Swiss hit the top. Remember, we wanted them to break that top. They broke the top. So two things now. It's either they're going to reverse. It's either this starts to reverse, come back, retest this low, then go, or they continue to go. I think basically I'm expecting them to go some more down. So what we're looking for is, do we have a turning point here now? Let them break this structure, make a flag, and then you can start selling this. And if you're lucky, you would get some pullback, but they will go all the way to this low, right? If not, you can't buy this thing until it breaks that top. You gotta wait. Pound Swiss, and this is one we are in from a long-term trade. Remember we told you that. Everybody, you were here. Any one of you haven't been here when I said don't miss this sell, and I showed you it in a weekly chart why you want that trade, right? How many of you saw this chart? How many of you saw this chart? Or let's make it easy. Let's make it easy. How many of you haven't seen that chart? I think I've showed you, right? This was in May 16, 2016, right? So what you're going to do here now is watch this trade go, right? So this trade is going very nice. I think they're going to tag that low. You're getting a setup for a short-term sell. So if you took this sell, the first sell here, and you took this sell, you may not get a chance. We tried to get this in, but some of my traders got that, took profit. So watch this here now for the downside. I think that is going to go down. We're getting a deep correction. You're looking for a fall here, right? And this one might start to fall pretty hard, right? So look for this. This one is really going into profit. Yes, this one is going well. For those of you who got it, well done, right? Keep your questions to the end. We will take the questions at the end. Otherwise, this webinar will be too long. So it's coming up, and that is good. I actually think they may make a deeper consolidation here. I think they could drop here and go back up and then give us that bigger move. This would be good because then you got a bigger move to the downside, right? So let's see how that goes. Let's go to the the Aussie's chief. Aussie chief, if you look at it weekly, we broke this structure, we made a move down, we made a pullback, and there's a possibility for one more move down. See that? Go to the 4-hour. This was your move down. This is your 1, 2, 3. You can start looking for a sell setup there. They could get 5 and then go. So the first trade you're going to look for now is a sell from this stop going down. Let them make a corrective structure here and then look for that sell there. right? This is your first trade. 1, 3. See, there's those two corrections. They may just get one correction here. Well, they may get also, but this could fall through the bottom. Right? You're going to watch this here when they come to the trend line, because they could break, and if they break, they're coming to test this low. So that could be a nice long-term trade. If you look at the New Zealand Swiss, I think you can easily see this has a nice consolidation in here. Break this structure, look for them to come and test this low. That could be a nice trade. And from there, you'll see where it goes. If you're going to trade these crosses, you got to calculate your risk properly, because you may have to use bigger stops and stay with them longer time. They don't go immediately, but sometimes if you're lucky, they just drop, right? They just drop pretty fast. So if you're lucky after a consolidation like this, you can watch this come back to the top and drop very fast. So don't miss the trade. It might be pretty quick, right? What else has a Swiss in it? So I think we'll go with that. Cat Swiss, but we'll go with that. So let's come back to where we were. Dollar Swiss, right? Dollar Swiss. If that happens, dollar Swiss will keep going down more. So you can get short-term trades. Watch it if it makes any correction into this, and then look for a sell setup. I think they'll make more corrections. Right? They'll probably make deeper corrections up here, and then you'll get a sell setup. Euro Oz. Euro Oz, that we think they're going to be a long-term trade here. It's not an easy one. It's not going pretty fast. It takes a long time. They consolidate pretty long, if you realize this. So we made one up, and remember that was your trade to the downside. Well, we were looking for one more up here, right? So this will probably consolidate here for a while, and then you get one more trade up there. Either they break or they come back for one more down, and then you get the upside, right? What are the chances this is going to come down to the low? I think those chances are getting slim, right? Because this is a very sharp move up. And I don't think this is all the correction. We got one, we got that. So this could come a little more, but I'm expecting them to go there. Remember, this was a deep correction, right? If you look at the previous corrections, how they were, you'll understand that this is too short, right? You have a very big correction. So this one might come up here, come back there, go do, if they do something like that, you got a nice trade here. Patience. Patience and understanding how it could go will give you the trade setup. So there isn't really a trade setup here, but you may get a nice buy. Is it possible they can fall? Well, you don't have a sell setup. If you're going to look for a sell setup, this thing has to make a nice flag here. And then you get one trade, take profit. It makes another flag, you get one trade, take profit. Eventually, they're going to go up. If they do that, eventually they're going up. So keep your eyes on this one. You in New Zealand, stay out of this. It's in a consolidation, and the pattern is not clear. Right now, it's giving you a sell setup. That might not go very far. If you're lucky, it does, but it might not go, because there's a risk that this thing could, it might be stuck within this move here. They may just come here and start to go back up, right? So you got to be careful. I would rather trade any other pairs, even the euro dollar, rather than this. Euro Chief, we looked at already. Watch for the breakout. Euro CAD. Come down, somebody asked, that's a downside. I think I showed you this pattern last week also. Watch the two tops here. They're going to go back up, and then we're expecting them to go down. 4 hour, look at that trade. These are easy trades, right? See that? Look for a sell setup. You can actually get one in here and then take it to the low. When it breaks the low, take profit. Yep, that's an easy trade, because it comes to the top, you see the setup, you take the trade, right? That wasn't anything difficult. This was your entry point. Let's go. Euro yen. How many of you in the euro yen? Come on, let's see. I've did this chart like up and down. I mean, on the monthly, weekly, daily. And if you're not in this chart, you're not listening to what I'm saying, right? I think every one of you should have been in it, because you guys are not listening. This thing is an amazing trade. Let me just show you, right? This is what you have. You have a move up, you have a move down, and you get 1, 2, possible 3. They could come back here, they could do this. And if they do that, this becomes a big trade. But I think they could do this now, and that means you want this trade. Remember, let me show you the trade you want. The trade you're looking for is first back to this level. That's 1,000 pips. And then you're looking, if they break, you get another couple thousand pips. Go back to the 4 hour. I think I showed you this. We have divergence all over the charts. We made this up move. Remember when this was going down and I was saying, guys, watch for that move to come? And some people were going crazy, like, what the hell he's talking about? Well, that was a, well, I'm telling you, we're at the top now. Watch for this move to come. Will it come as fast, slow as this? Will it come as fast as that? I have no idea. And I don't care. I'm in the trade, right? I really don't care how fast or how slow it goes. I stay with them, right? This one, I'll try to stay with it as far as I can and as long as I can. So let's watch it. We are already in profit. My first trade last week was here. I actually got a break even on that trade. This was a lot of pips, went back, took me out. Okay, got right back in. Right, got been back somewhere here, right back in. I'm in profit again. That will go to break even when it comes here. They plan to go back up, I'll take a break even, but that's not going back up anywhere. This one should start coming down. And then we will put more trades onto that as it's going, right? We'll look for more sell opportunities because we're looking for sell opportunities in it, right? It's pretty easy to see, right? And it's not hindsight. It's not something you're seeing, hey, after the fact. We see this before they happen. As one guy said, you're 80% correct the first day, the second day you're 90, and 2 days or 3 days after you're 100% correct because they take time to form, right? When I see something that is a setup, it may take 1, 2, 3 days before it actually happens. You just got to keep track of the pattern that is developing, right? So watch it. We look at structures. We see these structures, and a lot of times we see them way before they happen, right? Because we understand how it should develop. That is why we do forecasting, right? Not after the fact. So look at this trade. This thing, when it comes here, this is where you're going to be careful, because if this is making a 3-wave pattern for one more up, it will still go down, right? Remember, I'm not changing the downside. No, Sung? I think it's on your side. Can somebody please can somebody please, okay, good. Okay, it's good now. Great, let's go. So if this comes here only and start to go back up, make another one, we will buy again here and then we will sell again. But I don't think they're doing that. I think we're going to actually break through. I don't think this is a correction right now, but we will see. If it's a correction, by next week we'll know, and I'll let you guys know that that is a corrective structure, and we're going to get one more impulse, and then the downside is not negated. The downside is still very possible. So let's see. This is coming down very nice. You should be in that trade. If you're not in the trade, look for an opportunity to get in. Go to the 1 hour, wait for a flag. Wait for a 1 hour flag. They make flags, and then you sell it. Right, let's go. Euro pound. This is another one I got break even on. So I was in the trade from here, by the way. Let me just show you. This was how much I gave up. Guess what? I'm looking for a sell opportunity again. Why? Because the structure has not changed. Nothing in this thing has changed that tells me it is not going to go up. We still have divergence there. We still have divergence in here. We still can see this. I will wait for a break there, a flag, and I'll sell it to this level. And if put the break even, and if they come, this is my trade. So did I give up a lot? Yes. Would I do it the second time? Again, yes, sure, because I want the bigger trade to the downside. Now let's see what happens here. Probably I should have taken some more profit. There was a chance to do that, but I'm a little stubborn sometimes when I see it. Not stubborn because I believe it will do that, but I haven't seen a change in the structure. So there was no need for it. If there's a change in the structure, in the blink of an eye, we change, right? We don't just stubbornly believe it has to go, right? But there is no change in this structure. What are the possibilities? Probably one more up here, making this a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure. And down, that would be the 786 and the 270. Right? Great. Right, Joseph? Well done. So watch this. Once it breaks this structure here and make a flag, you're going to sell it to this trend line. And once it breaks out, you stay with that for as long as you can, because that's a very, very big move coming. Right? Pangos. I think this is upside. I think we're going to get some more upside, at least at this level, and then we're going to see what happens. So let's look at the Pangos, because I've been showing the Pangos also for a while. And I think you guys should have been following this very well. You remember, if you go in the daily, you will see that. You'll remember that one. So remember what we were saying in the daily here, when this was your buy. That was your buy setup, that it's only going to come here and then it's going to go down back. You see that up move there and then go down back. We came there. I think we came to that level. Are we going down back? We're going down back. So is it total downside now? Remember, we're still within the pattern. We're still within this pattern. We've got 1, 2, 3. These patterns have tendency to be 4 and 5, and then they go. They have that tendency. And this one is showing us that that possibility exists, that they can go one more up. Now, I don't think they will go up, right? Most likely, I don't think it will. But that possibility exists. So what we do here is in the 4-hour, we keep track of this. We got to move down. We got to move down. Watch it to make a pullback. And if this goes more like a pullback there, we will sell. So there is a chance that you're going to get one more move up here, right? If you look at it in the 1 hour, you can see that they're making this. They made a sharp move up, and they're making this flag-looking pattern here. You can only sell this under the low. But if they go back up and start coming down, we can sell from the top. Right? Please leave the question for the end. I'll talk about the course at the very end, right? There's a lot of people in here who wants to know about the course. I'll tell you at the end of the webinar. Yes, look at this. Look for that buy setup. Remember, the Euro Oz also has a buy setup, right? This could go down. Like I said, there is the sell setup right now, but watch it. They may just do this and then start to do that. That's the trade we're looking for. If this thing goes down, no problem. You wouldn't be in the buy, right? If you're not in the trade, you wouldn't be in the buy. If you're in the trade like me with a protected, let me don't go into that. Well, this is one of the trades I can't lose then, right? I can lose a very small amount, but I can't lose big. It doesn't matter if it falls or it goes up. That's the strategy we're using on this one. That's a new strategy. So I'm in this trade for like a long time now, and I'm not worried about it. I can still stay in the trade for a very, very long time. So I'm still going for this trade. Take a note of that, and you will see that they will eventually get there. Even if they come down some more, they will eventually get there. What I'm watching was what this does here. I think they will come back here, and they may make a deeper pullback, kind of a longer term sideways before they go, right? But we are aiming for the upside. Go back to the Peng Oz. That is why I think Peng Oz at least has one more up, one more in this to the upside, and then go. If they don't break that top for you to get a buy, you don't have a sell setup here. You can't sell this here. You have to wait for them to break the low, make a flag, and then sell. So wait for this. Pang New Zealand, it's getting a sell setup here, but this is like a little, that was a sell setup. You remember, this is getting a sell setup. It's not a very, very solid one. So be careful. Take your profit. Once they get into this area here, take profit. Right? We made 1, 2, 3, and they're coming down. So take profit. Don't keep it for long term. To the upside, we don't have a setup yet. Pang Yen, all of you should be in the sell. I hope you are. At least from this level, from that level, from this level, now you're getting another sell setup here. Can this thing spike up? I think they can spike up. We have a lot of divergence here on the 4-hour, right? This is what Pang Yen is doing right now. Almost close to nothing. We haven't broken that top. And, remember this buy, right? We thought it would break the top. They didn't. They pull back. They didn't break the low. They pull back. They don't break the top. They could come back here and don't break this low. So I'm hoping that they come back and break the low before they go up. So we would be looking for this trade. I'm in the trade, and I'm expecting it to come much more. They do make pullback. They do make pullback. They do make pullback. We're not even going to discuss how many they made here before they eventually go, right? So this thing here will make a pullback. I'm expecting it to make a pullback. They're consolidating right now. I don't see a change in structure. I see this more like a nice consolidation for downside. So you can look for this sell setup and take profit, because that is short one. After that one, they can get a deeper pullback. So if this is your first trade in it, take profit. If that is not your first trade and you're in already, you'll just move it to break even and wait and see what happens. Pang CAD, downside, just like the dollar CAD, just like the Euro CAD. This is a short-term trade. Take profit. See this structure? The same structure they have on the Euro CAD and the dollar CAD. Take profit. Right? Just take profit when it comes there. If they break through, let's say they make a very sharp move and break straight through, well, you're lucky, right? You'll keep it. If they do this and you're in the trade from here, you can keep the trade. But if they stop here and they start to pull back, take profit, because they can pull back way back to the top. Pang Chief, we're in this already. We're looking for more sell sides. Aussie Yen. Aussie Yen, you got that sell setup. It came to the trend line. Take profit, because they have to break out. Possible more upside. Yes, Aussie Yen can go more up. You don't have a buy. It's not a clear buy setup. I said, let this thing make a flag here, and then you start looking for a buy setup. If they just settled right in here, you can look for a sell, which means if you don't get an impulse going up, let's go on a 1 hour. If we don't get a very sharp impulse, what would be your buy setup? Let it make a flag here. See, they're doing this. And if you get that flag, you take the buy. If the buy goes a little and come back here, put this together and look for a sell. But I think short term, there's buy. So you can take very short term trade. When you're not clear about the structure, just stay out of it, right? New Zealand yen, stay out of this one. This is one we're not clear about. You can stay out of CAD yen. CAD yen looks more like an ABC now. I think we're looking at it and trying to figure out what it was. More very like a nice big ABC correction in there with a contracting flat in the middle, right? So if you get a flag here, they're breaking this structure. If you get a flag here, look for a buyback to this top and maybe out of it. You can see, right? You got a nice sideways correction here. You can go out of that. So this might be a nice trade, which means CAD will go down more. You can see that. You've got a long move up. Got a correction here, got a correction here, got a big correction. This could go up to that level. So this might be a very good setup, which means CAD could go down a lot. We know yen is going down, right? If CAD goes down, this is going to go up. CAD has to go down faster than the yen. So keep your eyes. If they stay within that one, you don't really have much of a trade. Aussie Chief, I think I showed you this already. Aussie CAD, also downside. I showed this last week. We have one more downside in this, definitely. And then we'll see, right? You have one down, one up, one down, one up. You're looking for one more down here. This is a nice sell setup, by the way. I actually like this one. We're looking at this morning, and you can see there's a nice sideways there. Wait for them to break. You can take that trade down. If they pull back to the top here, they even give you a better, right? They give you a better entry point. So this is a nice one. This doesn't go very fast or, very thing. Sometimes they just drop and they make deep pullback. So you'll have to be careful. Watch how these patterns move before you decide if you want to get in them, right? So I like this trade for a sell. Aussie, New Zealand, remember I keep saying this thing will have to go down and break that low. Otherwise, we don't know what the hell that pattern is. Well, it looks like we are on the way to breaking this low. And from here, all of you should be buying. Everything. If you don't get the sell, if you don't get anything, if you did not take any trade, you're following me, I don't know, for a month or so, and you didn't take any trade, I want all of you to take this trade. Every single one of you. We have 300 people in the room, 307. We had 311 just now. I don't know what happened to the couple. Couple people drop off or what. So here's why you want to take this trade. I want all of you to take this trade. Take it in one micro, right? Take it in one micro if you have to. When we break this low, take a trade here and put a stop here. Even if it's one micro, put a stop under this low. If it's one micro, it will not break your account. And I want you to keep it all the way to this level. That should be, take the trade so that you can keep it, right? If you take it at the, at a bigger, that should be anything like 1,000, no, that should be, 1,600 pips, right? I think that's it. So I want all of you to keep it. Take it and keep it. Follow that trade, take it and keep it. You can actually put an entry order there because I have an entry order lying there. You can put an entry order, this 786, somewhere around here. Between 7, it will have to be beyond this low. So it has to be at 886. Somewhere around 102. Right? That may take a while, but you just have to keep that one trade for a month or 2 months and watch how it makes you profit. If you do that, you will learn a lot about trading. You will be following it every day and you will learn a lot about trading. That will change your entire view of how to trade, even if you do it on one micro, sorry. So watch this trade. Remember, now it's breaking. There's a short-term sell to that level. Well, not a very short trade, I should say. It's about 200 plus pips. Right? Depends on where you get in and what's your strategy in it. This thing could come here, and I think they'll come to that level. That's about 480 pips. So even, I'm liking it to myself. But there is the clear setup as yet. Probably wait for, a nice pullback here, a flag, because, this doesn't say it can go up more. Wait for them to break a flag, and then you take the structure, take the trade. So there is a trade to the downside, but after that trade, there's a very, very big trade to the upside. And this thing has been going on for 2 years more. Let me show you. I remember posting that chart. Watch for that correction. And then it's going to go. We were looking at it in our trading. And we were like, wow, how long did you wait for that correction? I think was on the daily. It was understanding. I think it was here we were thinking this thing is going to go, right? It's got an impulse, it's going to make yes. You got an impulse, you're going to get a little correction, and then that will go, right? And this correction took anything like, I think, 2 years. We look back at that correction, and that thing took 2 years before it's going to go. So it is going to go one hell of a movement. When this starts to go, it's going to go like that very, very, very fast. It is going to go very, very, very fast. So don't miss it, right? If you waited 2 years for a trade, you better don't miss it. I mean, seriously, we waited 2 years for that trade. We traded this one up. We traded this up. We traded that up. We traded this sum down. We were trading this up and down, but we want that big trade. Not like we waited and we didn't do anything, right? We traded. But now you want that big trade. So all of you should get it. And I think next week, if we can fill the room, the maximum capacity of this webinar that I did is 500. So I'm hoping next week we can get 500 people in it. So all of you should be able to bring one person more to the room, and let's take that trade. It should happen by next week. New Zealand CAD, kind of going in a sideways pattern here. You can see that, but if all the CAD trades are looking downside, this one is also downside, but we don't know if it's a contracting, flat contracting triangle as yet. It's too early to tell. Wait for the breakout and then take the trade. New Zealand Swiss, we did this already. You're getting a sell setup. Don't miss it. Silver crawling up slowly. Silver will make a correction. Let me show you the daily structure. I think all of you in some kind of a silver trade, expect a correction very soon. You see, when they made that crawl up, they made a correction. I think very soon a correction is coming before they'll go back up. Not very deep. I don't think it's going to be as deep as this, but a correction is coming, and you can see it on the chart. If you look at the 4 hour, you can see it's kind of starting to get very flat, right? It's going very flat now. It's not going very aggressive. So I think at some point we will start to see a correction and then more upside. Well, depends on how aggressive you are. You may want to even close some of your buys, look for sell opportunity. I will not sell silver. I'm looking to buy it lower, right? So I'll probably close some. Well, the bigger account we're trading, the guy doesn't want to close any. He says we'll just buy more and that's it. I close some of my trades that I take on my personal account. I close them even a little earlier. I think I closed them here, bought it back here, closed back here, and I didn't buy back. I'm waiting for that pullback and then buy again. That is on my account that I'm trading. But the other account where we're trading only silver, he is still holding those trades. And remember we got tagged in one of those trades at the bottom here. He is still, and it's a huge account with only silver in it. So he's like, oh, will it go down? Let's buy some more. Literally, he's like, let's buy some more. Don't sell anything. Just keep buying it. So gold, if you trade gold, you're doing well. Buy. Now expect correction. You see the same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Expect some correction. And then this correction doesn't have to be deep. It could be sideways and then go, right? Is it possible to touch a 14.5 again? I don't see that possibility right now. But yes, one possible structure exists that could do that. But that is not going to happen this time, not this fall. If this move that is going to make down is a correction, we will do that next week. By next week, we will know that, if that's possible. And I think it is. Right? I know if you missed it, you want to get back into that, right? Well, you were warned to put your entry order there more than a year now, right? So if you miss it, you miss it. Nothing you can do there. Cat Chief is going sideways. I think more upside. You can see this pattern here. I think you can see this, right? You can see this piece. Well, we are probably doing something similar to that here, and more upsides. So if you trade this pair, you can look for buy setups. I don't trade it literally. So if you trade it, you can look for buy setups. US oil, like we said, be careful. If you're trading this, watch it when it breaks the top, downside. I don't know. This thing has a very, very complex pattern in the making. And it wouldn't have been complex if it wasn't for this part. At this point, this part was pretty easy. Remember, I was saying this was going to go down, what's going to go down, what's going to go down. And people were like, when? And I said, look, it's going, right? And then they pull back, and then they drop, and they pull back, and they drop. This is now confusing because we're not sure what the bigger structure would look like. It's very complex, and it is getting more complex. But short term, this looks like they can come back to retest the low. Now, I would want you to be careful of this. If you're selling it, watch it when it comes to this low. because from here they can go back up. So if this is too complex for you, best thing is to probably stay out for a while. Take short-term trades. Look for flags, take short-term trades, get profit, get out. Because the bigger pattern is not very clear. Right? Copper, we'd look at that, yes. UK oil, same thing. Natural gas, same thing. It's going down. I think they may just tag this low again. We're expecting this to come tag this low. So if you get a setup, sell it, take profit, sell it, take profit until they get to this low. This would probably be 1, 2, 3, and then look for upside, right? So wait a little on this. Rubles, somebody has been chasing me to do rubles for them, do rubles for them. Not a lot of people do rubles. That is why I wasn't doing it. So let me do it for you. I've been doing this rubles for a long while. When it came, when it did that, when it did this, and when it's doing this. One potential move down is possible. Once they get to this area, ruble will make a very big move up. Ruble will make that move up. When? No specific time. We don't deal with specific time. We deal with structure. What is this structure doing right now? You notice this structure is getting aggressive. I think from here, not even from here, it's getting aggressively up, right? And they're pushing up as it is today. So I don't think this is the start of that big move up. I think they'll probably consolidate here some more and then come down. We don't have enough reason to buy it as it is right now. If this is a running flat, you could only buy above the top. But that's a little iffish one. You probably want to wait for it to go down before you do that, right? Let's go. Some people trade the South African rand. Be careful. It's still in a big sideways move and little more downside possible. I expected this move to go tag the top. They didn't, so this could still go, right? Right now, no setup on that. Wait if you trade that, right? Singaporean, for those who trade it, it's still going down. I still think there's a little more downside there. But eventually, you're going to get a correction to the upside, right? They're still going down. Eventually, this pattern will have to make a pullback to continue down or probably even reverse. So keep your eyes on it. It's at a low and they're having a lot of divergence. So I would not be surprised that, very soon you get the up move comes. Just keep your eyes on it. There's divergence here. You can see that. So the up move could start very soon, right? What else? Let's go with S&P 500. You may be getting a sell setup right now, and this could turn into a very long-term sell setup back to this trend line. Keep your eyes on that. DAX coming down already. Yep. Coming down, and they could probably get all the way to this trend line. So if you get any pullback here, look for sell setups, right? $460 pips in profit, 20 outputs. Great. Well done, right? You guys are doing good. Copper, somebody wants copper. Copper is making an up move, but it's not an aggressive move to the upside. I would not be trading this. Actually, I think once they break this top, it can start to fall very hard. Watch it for deeper correction, right? Copper would be nice to do. If it comes here and they pull back to this level, then buy it. If copper makes an attempt to the downside somewhere around 2 and so, then we can really buy a lot. So Nifty, for those who trade it, a lot of you trade it, is going up, right? It's climbing. You got to be careful. If you're taking these trades, be careful. They are short-term trades, right? Watch this. This thing could start coming down back anytime, right? So if you're in that trade, move it, take profit. What else? Ethereum, somebody wants this. Let's take a look at it. So well, you're always having some fanatical people, that I don't know why they have to be fanatical, especially when you're a trader. The last thing you want to do is be a fanatic of anything. And remember, I said these things are supported by nothing. Literally, they're supported by nothing, and that's a fact. That's not a guess question. That's a fact, right? They're only increasing in cost because of demands. That is like if we have a pack of cards and we're all bidding for them, right? The price of those cards will get more expensive as the bidders come in. But if we all decide to cash in, that's where the collapse comes. Or a big owner of any one of these things decide to cash in, you're going to get a collapse. That system will totally make it collapse. So you can trade it. Nobody says you can't trade it. Nobody says it's not going to go up and down. What I'm saying is you don't want to be the last person to be taking profit. Because if you are going to be the one that holds the big zero. Because the other people who cashed in to book their profit, if they pull their money out of the broker, wherever, whatever the exchange they are at, if they manage to pull their money out, if those exchange collapse, you get nothing. And they can collapse. Because you don't know, right? Where do they get profit? Where does the profit come from this? From nowhere. Right? So just be careful. I don't say you can't trade it. Looks right now like it could make another up move. They're consolidating in here. They probably do this, come back here, and then do that. One more up move. If you get an up move, take profit. You buy, take profit. Get in, get out. Bitcoin, same thing. Bitcoin 1, 2, 3. They actually played the same way. 1, 2, 3. You get a consolidation here. One more up. Take profit. Get the hell out. If you don't get the hell out, you will be the one trapped with that thing when it starts to fall. So be careful. Just trade with careful. Trade it like anything else. But this one, you have to be careful that you want cash out of it. Don't keep your assets in Bitcoin, something that has nothing. Governments are putting cryptocurrencies into commodities. Where you heard that from? Government. I think that's the biggest illusion everybody is getting. They post an article said, hey, the Japanese government is supporting it. No, what the Japanese government said is, if people are trading this instrument and they're making profit, we're going to control it. We're going to regulate it so they pay us tax. What the US government is saying, if this is an instrument traded in the market, we want to regulate it to make sure that it's used properly. It's not used for money laundering. It's not used for terrorism. It's not used for anything else. And if they make profit, hey, pay your dues, pay your tax. They're not saying that we're supporting it. I think those are misunderstanding or misconceptions that are being portrayed by people who are fanatics about it. I'm not a fanatic. One guy said, hey, Bill Gates is supporting it. Okay, Bill Gates is a billionaire. Ask Bill Gates how many $1 billion he has in Bitcoin. He's supporting it. I agree with that. I like the idea too. But ask Bill Gates how much $1 billion you have in Bitcoin. If you think it's so great and it's going to be the replacement of dollars, why don't you start going into it right now? Exactly. I think it's 0 too. I think his money in Bitcoin is equivalent to 0. And I'm pretty, that's, people don't get these. People don't get these common sense things. They read things and they're fanatical, and then they go talk out of the way, talking nonsense. No government in the world is actually supporting this. What they're saying is we need to regulate it. What they're saying is we want our part of the profit if there's a profit to get. When you lose your pants, they're not going to give you any money back on it. That's the whole difference. Don't mistake regulation with support. Those are two different things, right? Let's go. What else? Wheat. Somebody wants wheat. Wheat is making a deep pullback. I think there will be more upside in the wheat. It's pulling back. They pull back pretty deep, and I think this pullback could come here, but there's a next up move. Wheat you can buy. Wheat is supported, right? There is a chance this thing makes profit. Right? You're getting something in exchange for it. We know what is it. Okay, guys, what else? Let's take some questions. Let me see. What questions else do you have, guys, beside the pairs? So okay, for those of you who are interested in the course itself, and a lot of you have sent me, I was promising to send out the details this week coming. But because I'll be traveling and I'll be in Dubai, this is recorded, so I hope you watch it. Because I will be in Dubai for the whole week, I will do it in probably the second week in August, because the first week in August I'll be in Dubai. I hope you guys understand that and give me a chance. And there's a lot of you, don't worry, the course is starting on the 4th of September. You will have enough time to settle in the group, to get the past recordings, to look at it, and be ready for the training sessions. Be ready for the classes and the training sessions. In 2 words, I'll tell you how that works. When the payments are made, I add you to the group. We're in a Slack group. You're added to the Slack group, right? Only I can add you to that group, and then you will have to use your full name and all of that. There's a control system in there, right? And you get access to all our recordings, recordings of past webinars, recordings of the classes and all of that. You get to start learning those stuffs. And then the classes are live. 6 a.m. New York time every morning, I would do a class. It takes 1 to 2 hours. And you get to look at it live, and you get to ask questions, and you get to look at the recordings. And we do that for 1 week. And then you have 2 weeks of practical sessions that you'll be doing. We have cut that 2 weeks to 1 week because we make the groups smaller. So we put you in small groups of 10, 15 people, 20 people, and you do practice on what I taught you. Right? This is all live. I show you how I do it, and then you go and practice. After that, you come back and we have 1 more week of classes. And then you get 2 more weeks of practice. And after that, you have practice with me. The practice session will be with my traders, top traders, very good. These guys know their work. And then you get to do it with me, directly with me, which means I sit and watch you prepare a chart from zero. You take a chart, you take everything off, and you show me how you do it. Basically, that's how you learn to do it. And when you do that, right? When you do that, then we put you into the, you're already in the group, basically, right? Then you get into the trading group to be part of an active part of a trading group, right? You have a lifetime access here. So any questions you have, we will answer them. You're not going away anywhere. You see what we teach you that it works. Here is the difference between people who selling courses and give you a 3 weeks course and tell you, here is the recordings. I don't want to hear from you again. We don't do that. We're not really selling courses. We're training you to become a trader. We don't have that option. You notice when people who sell courses, what they do, we have a basic, we have a golden, we have a silver, we have platinum, we have, I don't know, brilliant, we have diamond, we have these, they have these courses packaged like hamburgers, right? Well, knowledge does not work that way. If you want to become a trader, you need to be trained to do this. You know, if you want to become, I don't know, a footballer, they don't tell you we have 6 package of making you a footballer, right? They have a trainer and he trains you to be the best person in the world, the best footballer in the world, basically. So if you want to be a trader, we try to make you a trader. We give you our best. And if you put your best in, there is a good chance you become a good trader. We're not giving you packages here. So it's, and the reason, and people think I'm doing this for course. Hey, if I was doing this for course, there are more than 100 of you who wants to sign up, chasing me to sign up for the course right now. And I'm telling you guys, can you please wait? Can you please wait? You know, when you go to the other course and you tell them, hey, I want to take a course, they grab you, they hold on to you, they suck on to you, and they don't let you go, right? Because their business is selling course to you. My business is not that. My business is helping you to become a good trader. And if my webinar can help you, great. You don't have to take the course. But if you really want to be a good trader, you want to be in that amazing group we have, you really want to get that level higher, well then, hey, take the course. When somebody writes me, said, man, I lost $30,000. Can you help me now? I'm like, okay. What were you thinking of before you lost the $30,000? Didn't you think 2,500 was a good investment? To at least not make you lose that 20,000? I'm almost guaranteeing you would not lose 20,000 if you invest 2,005. Whether you become the best trader in the world, that will depend on you, not me. How much you are willing to put in. I'm willing to give you my all. We have an entire group of people who are willing to give you their all. Right? So that's it. These webinars are to help people who cannot take the course, who does not have the finance to take the course. That is what these free webinars are for. That's the only purpose I do them. Because I know there are thousands of traders out there who cannot, 5,000, 10,000, look at these webinars. Those are people who cannot afford to take the course. It's for them. Those who can afford to take the course, they will just take the course and be in the group. They get much more there. They learn better there, right? They get to talk to me daily in the webinar. They get to get my update daily, every single day. So that is it, right? And if you have patience, you will get in the group next week, the week after. So I'll see all of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming. And please, let's share this. Next week, the webinar will be from Dubai. I will try to get my traders when we're doing it in a room, if we can arrange it. You guys will get to see some of them, maybe get a camera on. So don't forget to invite a friend. Share the link with him, bring him along. Let him learn something. See all of you. Take care. Bye-bye.